Welcome to CPC Talks, presented by CPC Gaming Media. I'm your host, Ace Virtue, and my co-host today is.
Oh, hey, my name's Egypt. Nice to meet you.
And we have brought our friends.
Hi, I'm Kita Cat.
I'm Brooklyn Tengu, also known as SideQuest K.
And today we'll be talking about Capcom's, our take on Capcom's greatest. Cue Capcom. Um, so today the first game I wanted to go to was, so it won't, I don't know if I'm gonna really do questions. We could just add comments and things in today. But the first game I wanted to go to was, I'm gonna skip right to Onimusha 2. That was one of my favorites. Of course we all like Onimusha 1.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 was good, was better to me. So it was released in North America in 2002. And an action adventure game who follows the main character Jubei Yagyu on a revenge quest against, of course, an evil Nobunaga Oda, who's always evil in every
Thing he's in.
Japanese game for some reason. So the game basically retains most of the action elements from the first Onimusha, the weapon system where you get the different types of weapons with the different elements and such, and the same fighting enemy system and stuff like that. But one of my favorite elements in the game was being able to play as all four people, because I know sometimes we go through games and we're like, oh, we met a cool, sub character. I wish I could play as them. And you do get to play as them. So you get to play as Jubei, you get to play as Oyu, you get to play as Magoichi, you get to play as Kotaro. So
Eke.
Huh?
Eke.
Oh, and Eke. Yeah. I forgot about him. I might have forgot about somebody else. I hope not.
No.
But, okay. So yeah, that was one of the reasons I like the game so much, because it introduced a system where you get to play as all the cool, sub characters that you meet. What does everybody else think of Onimusha 2 or Onimusha series in general?
I did not like the Onimusha form too much compared to the first Samanosuke's. I mean, the whole shooting the beams was all right, but it just didn't feel he didn't feel as powerful as Samanosuke.
Okay.
Go
No, I'm saying it was definitely a different system. Yeah.
And the fact that it was only like kind of, I mean, I guess for both games it was, well, no, you didn't actually transform in the first game until the cutscene. And the second one was kind of stuck with that boss. I didn't like the last boss either. The whole big crawling.
Yeah. But I like Fortinbras that much in one.
Yeah, he was like stuck in place too. So
yeah.
It was like, limitations, I guess. I don't know.
There was so many bosses like that weren't basically the final boss that were so much better than the last bosses in 1 and 2. So right. I do agree with you on, fighting that final boss. It wasn't, satisfying to be like, but that, what was it, the third Onimusha where you like really got to show out?
Jean Reno?
Yeah.
That one's good.
That war
with the guy with the horns?
I'm talking about the war scene specifically in that one where you get to fight like it's a war going on and you just get to fight everybody. I like that part. But anybody else play Onimusha 2? Any other comments about Onimusha 2?
The Gogan Dante's fight was nice.
Yeah.
The duel.
Yeah. He beat my ass.
I didn't really get too much into. No, you good. I didn't really get too much into Onimusha, only because like at that time I think every time I had that game probably it was stolen or something happened to it. But Onimusha 2 is where it's agreed that I got to play them all though. I didn't get to take too much time with 3, so I thought that I didn't enjoy it, but maybe I'll try it again. But Onimusha 2, that was the one pretty much that was fire to me, and that I wish I could keep. Maybe I'll go back to it though.
Right.
How'd you feel about that the doll edition in the Xbox version of 1?
The floating
Yeah, the doll with the
wasn't that
scissor.
in wasn't that in 1 though?
Yeah, no, it was the Xbox version of 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know that scared me. She was like in that, you never knew what room she was in. That was
That's creepy as yeah.
But
what about our homie Marshall?
Oh Jesus.
Was he in 2 though? Or they skipped him in that one?
He was in
1 and 3, right?
He was in 1. He was in 1. What there was like a replacement for him, right? Oh, Gogan Dantes.
Okay, so okay.
Kind of like his replacement ish.
And then the other guy that nobody who remembers his name in 3. Well, yeah.
I don't remember 3 that much. I only remember like 1 and 2. And 1 I just played because I played that remaster version. So
it was the blue dude with the long tail head.
Oh, the one that was in Samurai Warriors.
Yeah. No, Onimusha battle. What the hell was that called?
No, Onimusha Samurai Blade something.
Some shit. Yeah.
The thing.
It was fun. It was kind of like Smash before Smash, actually.
Yeah, that was my shit.
He said that was my shit.
All right, number 9. What's number 9?
Oh, Kita, wait, you got anything with Onimusha? Or?
Honestly, I played the first one, and I never played the remaining games. So sorry. That's why I'm just sitting here smiling, like, yeah.
I do want to play Tactics though before you move on.
See, look, that's why I didn't ask, because I know you didn't play it, so I didn't want to put on the spot.
Oh yeah, my bad. No, but when you get a chance, do revisit.
Oh, absolutely.
Egypt, take us to number 9.
All right. Wait, number 9 for me or you? Wait a minute. No, I'm kidding. Mine would probably be, I'm gonna name Mega Man Universe. It's probably a unknown game. Has anyone ever heard of that before I even know?
Is that the 3D
Mega Man itself? Yes.
It wasn't the 3D one, right? With the he had the helmet off.
Yeah, no, that's
that was something else. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that one.
That was Legends. Yeah, my bad.
No, we're gonna leave that one right there where it is.
It's
you mean
okay.
20XX? Huh?
You mean 20XX?
No, 20XX that's a whole different story. But see, this crazy. That's a good game, and Capcom didn't even. Okay, right. Well,
wow. Why did they change the art style so much in this one?
Well, I actually started with this one because this is a game that was not released. It was going to be released. It was a character creation and a level creation in a Mega Man game. Wow. And there were different games, of course, from Capcom involved within that whole creation. There wasn't too much, besides what us as gamers dug, but there wasn't too much that was elaborated or given to us about the game up until we found out our own things. But nor is there actual given reason why the game wasn't even released, to be honest. But anyway, it was going to have it seemed like the style kind of took a lot from Mega Man 2. I didn't see any X elements, but it could have been a Mega Man Universe 2 if it were successful. It took things from Ryu, Ghost and Goblins. I think I saw multiple bosses from multiple Mega Mans. And for example, you can have a Slash Man arm, and you can have a Ryu left arm, basically, like right arm and left arm. I thought that would always be cool, but it was never released. So I'm just going to start with this because this is an idea of something that could have been Capcom's greatest release. It had too much potential.
Capcom be sleeping.
I think scrapped it because it would have got rid of their classic Mega Man style that everybody loves. So maybe because sometimes when you put out something that is different, everybody likes, they like, oh, I don't like this anymore. I don't like Mega Man anymore. I hate it.
No, but look at the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
My bad. Look at the opposite ending though. Nobody's even talking about Mega Man or You know, Mega Man's dead in the water right now, so they should have.
Hold on,
more or less done it.
When was that supposed to come out?
About 2010 type
See,
of. Hold on.
2010. We ain't talking about now.
I mean, shit, bring it back then. Do something.
Yeah.
Shit. Mega Man is dead right now. Come on.
Yeah, I'm looking at an article for it, and it says that the game was canceled due to various circumstances.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Like that.
We wanted to release Street Fighter V again.
So vague.
That would rebirth that might rebirth Mega Man.
Capcom could have basically had, like, I'm not gonna drift with this one. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. But think of it like this: like with Mario, that is a hard platforming series and shit. So like, you know how they came out with what the is it? I don't play it, but my son does. Super Mario Makers. Capcom could have had their own Super Mario Makers. It would have been Mega Man Universe with no copy, no shade, no, I didn't get anything from you guys or anything like that. That could have actually gave Mega Man it was a chance, you know, or that's just my perspective on it at least.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, though.
Mm-hmm.
Was. Nah, I'm
Yeah.
Number 8. Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I'm gonna take you for a ride.
Yes. I'm gonna play that too. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2 specifically because of the massive amount of characters you can get in that game. That it was ridiculous. It was both strenuous and satisfying at the same time because
you had to work for them.
Yeah, you had to work, and colors. You had to work for the colors too. So one of my favorite aspects of the game was the system of getting the money and being able to buy the characters after you complete, you know, the task of beating the 3 formed boss, that weird green thing. They used to, like, if you had it on hard mode, you know, you might as well
that Venom thing, and then started off as like what, an eyeball or some shit.
Fuck
and
that was, man. That shit.
You get satisfied when you beat it and, you know, get that amount of money and you go get a character that you really wanted. So as compared to Marvel vs. Capcom, the first one, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where they put in characters I don't even give a about. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 gave you everyone you wanted. Like, if there was one character that you like, oh, I wish they was in this game, they probably were in that game. Like, even to the point, what was that name? Spiral? Like, I didn't even who would put Spiral in the game?
It gave you the important characters, really. It gave you the important characters instead of
and it gave I didn't like where Marvel vs. Capcom 3 took. I mean, I know you're trying to give like unique characters to the game, I guess, if that's what they were trying to go for, but I didn't. If you're gonna do that, add all the characters you had in 2 and then put those extra ones in there too. That's what I would say.
They should have been resized too. They felt like they were too big for the screen as well.
Some of them, yeah. But definitely 2 for me. Like, just everybody, like the combinations, the you know, the specials that you could, you know, mix and match together. Like, I think it was 3 different specials for each character, something like that.
Who were your 3 characters?
Mine, well, I had a gun team and I had a laser team. I think my gun team was BB Hood, Jill, and War Machine. And I think my laser team was Morrigan, Iron Man, and either Ryu or Cable.
Oh, I think it was Cable, if I remember correctly.
I'm surprised I remember correctly.
I'm thinking, don't forget.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. All right. So what's everybody else's comment on Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or everybody else's experience?
Beams. That's really all it was. I like Mega Man. He had a couple of good moves in there, but other than that, I mean, it was just a fun game.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, my experience with it was brief. It was always in like group settings, like with my cousins, and they would just absolutely smoke me. But yeah, it was a great try.
Yeah, that's That's unfortunate. That is. Yeah, I love the game personally. One of my favorites. Actually, instead of opinion, we already know I like the game. It's one of the greatest. Look, so one of the things you can do in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that has been carried on ever since. I didn't play with everyone. It was a very big. I played with a lot of people though, but everyone couldn't do no this. Or maybe who knows. But I would run whoever as my first two. It didn't matter who. I will run whoever as my first two. Usually on the Marvel side when I'm using this third that I'm about to name, but then I'll have Rogue as my third. If you have a character that has a prolonging super, whether it's Ryu, Cyclops, Cable, anybody, that's all day. But if you have two characters with a prolonging super, and then you come out with Rogue on your third, you can kind of cut her super short and then just get the beating his ass, whoever you're going against. And you can re-super. You can wait until someone jumps back, and then you can combo him up. If you have enough bar, you can re-super. You can even go back and re-super. You can't do the same thing, though, of course, because you have Rogue. But, like that, fighting games, they stole that from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, honestly. That's something that's been carried, which is cool.
Yeah, that's a cool fact.
Good times.
And it's nostalgic, so that too.
Yeah.
I remember in that game when I was like sick for a week, and I was just on that for like days.
Just want to give a special mention to
my sick days.
Capcom versus SNK behind that, but let's move on.
Oh no,
it is though. It actually is.
But two though for me.
Yeah.
All right, so take us to number 7.
Well, I don't mean to. It's funny that Tenku said that because this is actually this is my next Capcom versus SNK 2 to be exact. One was okay, one was okay, but Capcom versus SNK 2 was like they had their own, So Marvel versus Capcom, they have their own fighting style and everything from Capcom. Capcom mixed in their own with King of Fighters and SNK, but it was King of Fighters, but whatever.
I just want to make this known. It's clear that they get it right by the second game, since we always choosing the 2s.
You know what? Yeah, that is weird. It is always the second game, which I ain't got a problem with, but because that's not where it ends. But whatever.
This was multiplayer.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I feel as if maybe Marvel vs. Capcom was probably harder than Capcom versus SNK. Too many Capcoms. But I still must throw out the last boss, which is Rugal. Violent Rugal. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah, because like he'll whoop ass so bad to the point where like maybe I don't know, the name might leave your head. I don't know. That's a part of the favorites because that's Capcom really like branched off from themselves. They always have their fighting styles in their games, similar to Street Fighter, which it was, but it wasn't. Their fighting style on that game was much of its own. I can't really give it to SNK or Capcom. They both had their own elements. Not only did Ryu stand different, but who can I name? I say Iori. Iori's combos was so much more comfortable to do. Not that they're not on any other game, but they were so much more comfortable to do on that game in particularly because it seems as if Capcom mixed in their smoothness with their combos and everything with SNK's rawness because they have some real raw combos once you pull them off. So, which in other words is difficult. With Capcom smoothness, I don't know, man. That made it. I was on that game like every day. I owned it myself because, of course, that was from further back. I was a little younger, so I didn't own all my games. My brother did, and that was mine. And I probably stayed on that game up until I found a better fighting game to play. So
massive roster of people to choose from. everybody you want from both sides. So
Yes, I didn't name anyone. You're right.
3-3, just like Marvel vs. Capcom. So, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released 2000. This one was 2001, right after.
It's a balanced game too, really balanced.
Yeah. And they had the same thing. It was interesting. Those options you pick right before you to be balanced. The option thing you can be balanced. Either support your special more or something like that. I think that was cool too. So
the balance systems was pretty fire. So yeah, I am so Capcom that I would. Well, that's the choice that they give you, though. Honestly, it's not my fault. Like, I would always go to Aism because that's the most comfortable one. But I didn't remember. You don't have the full option to actually play this game anymore unless you have emulators. So that's a very big thank you because that's big. You had about 3 different systems. As far as for comfortability, support for the character, fighting, and I forget the third because I'm just not remembering this, but they all are very useful. Yes, thank you. Definitely. I'm going with 8.
All right. 6. I am going with Resident Evil 2, a game favorite we all know of, and that we've spoke of in previous. So Resident Evil 2 came out in 1998. Everybody knows a survival horror game, which follows Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield, after they get separated by unescapable destiny. Claire's looking for her brother. Leon is a rookie who just got a load on his first day. So that game was different in its own as well because of the two-part system. You get to experience a scenario with him and a scenario with her, and depending on who you play with first, the scenario changes. I mean, needless to say, you're supposed to play with Leon first, but if you play with Claire first, the story's not canon, but it's interesting to see the changes that they give you if you play as her first as opposed to him. So I like the little tidbits of changes and stuff that they do. That's why it's one of my favorite Resident Evils. The 2-path, and it introduced obviously new enemies, a stalker enemy, and then you get a mutated enemy that mutates every 5 seconds. So it's very interesting. And like I said, it's one of my favorite games. Comments?
Was this the one? Sorry, was this the one where if you clear it with a certain score, like a high score, you get tofu?
Yeah.
Okay, this was Tofu's game. Okay, I love that guy. Well, that food entity.
Yeah, there was like a secret thing to play with Hunk or something like that. I think he just told me or
Hunk as well.
Yeah. So I never got that. So I never got to play with him. So
I got Tofu. I played enough to get it.
But yeah. Resident Evil 2.
Quick question. I'm sorry. Listen. So if you only beat the if you beat the game as Claire first and then Leon, so technically I have never actually beat the game. I think I did. I think I went back. So we're gonna not involve that. So that means that I would have never.
Claire gets.
Well, wait. Did you play both or just one?
I'm not sure anymore.
I remember it was 2 discs. I remember that much.
Claire gets Birkin if you beat it with Claire first, and Leon gets Tyrant if you beat it with him second.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they all meet up at some point, but the story changes a little bit, but it's not canon.
Is Hunk still unlockable even if you beat the game the wrong way?
I've never did the Hunk thing, so I don't know.
Okay.
I forget you have to clear the game under certain circumstances. Like you can't something like you can't use weapons or no, No, there was a knife mode. I did that one. That was really hard.
Like one save or something.
You had to limit your saves, I think.
Well, regardless, I don't want to play with Tofu, but
Tofu looks so weird, especially in the new one. But yeah,
It's just a block of tofu just
But
going
yeah,
on through.
after I beat that game, I started game sharking it, so I started getting unlimited everything.
Cheater!
legendary.
I beat it though, so I could do that.
Legendary, the Game Sharks, bro.
Game shark.
I think I still have mine.
Any
Oh, I gotta find it.
on Resident Evil 2 Tengu.
I mean, you guys said everything already. It's good, and we had that whole conversation, so I
Yeah.
got nothing to add.
All right, number 5.
Okay, number 5. Let me just be sure, because I was gonna name something else, but I'm going to. Yeah, we're getting there. Well, I have to just throw this out there, because this is maybe not everyone's best, but this is a CPC's best, I guess I can say, because this is more so about diversity. I'll let number 5 be. I'm gonna name Zelda the Minish Cap. I know that that's a Nintendo game, but we're going more so on the design of the game, gameplay.
Capcom developed it, and Nintendo put it out. So it's
Yes.
Okay.
still
That
made by
counts.
Capcom.
Still made by Capcom.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I think the fact that they can just that's not one of their games. You know, not necessarily saying the Nintendo thing, but a Zelda game is what I'm pretty much going off of. It looks as if, well, it's an of course, but I'm just gonna still be humble. It looks as if like it's a branch off from Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is pretty much the original. But instead of dealing with Ganondorf, you're dealing with Vati or Vati. So the game is on Game Boy. So that goes by the age of it, and also no one ever actually pronounced his name. So I could be saying it wrong, but you can tell that that's Ganondorf. You know, you can tell, but he's a child instead. So anyway, just a very small and quick description. Besides, it's just like Link to the Past. The Minish Cap, pretty much the difference is you receive this bird instead of you going to get your green tunic and the hood and your sword. You get your sword and everything, green tunic, but your hood is a bird. I actually just forgot his name. It's been a while. I remember it though, but it'll come back to me. But it's a green bird that you actually utilize throughout the whole game. He's actually useful. He somewhat attacks as well. That is just, you know, I don't know. That's just a little weird. So the gameplay was awesome. The diversity is great. I just feel as if that's just a different put out for them, you know, a different type of release. Yes, it's Nintendo and everything, but it's just how hard, you know, they went with that Zelda game. I mean, that game all the way through, maybe except for the beginning part, is extremely fun. Like, I think if I still had a Game Boy, I would play it for real. But yeah, I'll name that for 5 we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on the diversity?
The diversity is on. What I mean by diversity is, you see how we got Ghost and Goblins, we have Mega Man, we have all of these other games, but necessarily they are similar, I guess, but only by the 2D. But we don't actually have a game that's similar to Zelda besides Zelda the Minish Cap and Four Swords, just to throw it out there. Both of them, but we're gonna stay here. But that honestly, okay, so what can I name? Because I'm trying to keep this out of Nintendo's. I'm trying to keep this out of Nintendo and put it out for Capcom, but Capcom kind of mimicked Nintendo, but they did it in their own way with Zelda's attacks. I would say with this bird, how you utilize the bird. That I'll name that just for the diversity period, because he's kind of a key. You know, you have to collect things for him. He doesn't fly or anything like that, but he is kind of your quick travel.
But wasn't that one of the first Zeldas that started with attack combos?
No,
or emphasized it?
I would say that was Zelda Four Swords. I would actually say that Zelda the Four Swords have more of a combo system than Zelda the Minish Cap. Zelda the Minish Cap, it really seemed like Capcom said, hey, we want to make Zelda a Link to the Past, and we just don't want to name it that, and we're going to give you a bird. Kind of ignorant, but, you know, that's pretty much... It's pretty much like how I'll put it. It was less combos than Four Swords, though. You can actually jump people in Four Swords. The combos was much more fire in Zelda the Four Swords than it was in Minish Cap. But the story for Minish Cap was not only longer but greater. They both are. It's arguable though. It's really arguable. Both were developed by Capcom. Zelda the Four Swords and Zelda the Minish Cap.
Okay.
I have a question. Would you say, because I know that Zelda is a reincarnation, like every game of Warrior or whatever, she's the reincarnation of Helia. So would you say it's like a love story? That's what it seems like to me. It's like he's the reincarnation. He keeps saving her. She's the reincarnation of Helia, and he always saves her every story.
It's an ongoing love. It's an ongoing love story for sure. A knight to save the princess. Shrek, even Shrek, because he wears green. I mean, that's just a joke. But yeah, it is. It's pretty much a love story. A very fun one though. But yeah, damn, I like the storyline so much. I don't really pay
with a
too
dope
much.
flute solo. So
I love hate triangle. Actually.
Oh, with
Ganon's always he's always involved.
Why he's such a blocker?
He's trying to be Dio, man. It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. In a way.
All right. Number 4. I'm going for Resident Evil Code Veronica. So we didn't touch on that. So definitely comment on this one.
Ashford.
So Resident Evil, to me, I think we were talking about this the other day, that it seems like every third one they change up their style. So 1, 2, 3 was one, 4, 5, 6 was another one, 7 Village, which is 8, and I guess 9 would be first person. But it seems like the test audience a lot in how they set up the game for development. And Code Veronica was, to me, one of those tests because it played differently. I mean, you still get the same kind of feel, but it played a little bit different than the normal Resident Evils.
Wasn't that the first one with the first 3D background?
Yeah, that too. And I guess they were testing because some of the camera angles really got on my nerves. It was really hard to do certain things in some of them camera angles, but
I think they did that on purpose.
Right.
It could have been. Yeah.
That came out in 2004 Dreamcast, and it followed Claire Redfield, who I believe got captured in Paris. So she's trying to escape from this Rockford prison, which was a prison used for testing grounds for
the virus, and yeah.
So
and you meet Steve.
Right, he meets Steve, who has
so annoying.
fate messed up ending after you get acquainted with him and everything. But I guess that happens to the best of us, right? But it's an interesting game. It's a fun game. It was the first of its kind for Resident Evil. I like the enemies. I like the whole brother sister thing. Like she's coming for him, coming to save her. And then you have the brother sister dynamic with Alexia and Alfred, or as he says in the original game,
Alflexia.
And then you have the dynamic with Wesker and Alexia, who's trying to get some of the virus. Yes,
her body.
Yeah, her body. So it's this whole drama kind of soap opera-ish kind of thing going on. But it was fun. It was one of my I would say maybe my second favorite after Resident Evil 2. But I guess because I chose it, right?
I just wanted to go back and add that it was also a training facility because Hunk was also trained there.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I guess anybody that dissented against Umbrella as a corporation, they were basically just locked there and, like you guys said, used as experiments.
And which is funny, she also gets a stalker-like enemy in this one. So Claire likes being stalked. I don't know. They like stalking Claire. I don't.
It's always a tyrant.
It's always a tyrant stalking Claire. I mean, he's very interested in her. So.
Quick question: who was the worst stalker? Who was the worst stalker? Claire-wise, not throwing Jill or no nemesis. Claire-wise, who was the worst stalker between 2 and Code Veronica?
Ooh.
It depends on the game mode you playing in, because I had to beat him. What was it for? Something for an item or something on a plane, and the plane fight with him doing the box thing was annoying.
Oh, that's right. You had to like shoot. You had to keep firing at him and then push the box over the edge of the plane.
But he remember how many times I died? Remember I fell off the plane.
That cockback slam, man.
Yeah, that fight was annoying, but it was different. I mean, they kudos for them for trying to do something different. You know, even with the stupid Smash thing where you got to pick up that little ball thing under the
crystal ball with the trap.
Yeah, well, I got killed under that. I got killed by Steve. I got killed by everybody. I mean,
I got killed by Steve. I died against.
Everybody.
The Bandersnatchers are probably the worst enemies though, because they were
annoying. They were annoying. They were really annoying.
And those golden Lugers, oh my god, the worst thing you could possibly run into with. You might as well have had like a little straw and spit paper.
They were very useless. You literally had to use all 100 bullets on one enemy.
Yeah, on one enemy though. It was just on one, like, bro.
That was the scene where Steve is just like, "These are the best guns ever," and goes in.
And that's why
so stressed.
I gave them to him because she was like, I ain't taking these guns. Here, take that. You take.
And then he killed something with a kick.
Right. But Veronica. Number three.
Code Veronica was a good choice. I like that one too. Number 3, I am going to go with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure HD. The game release. The game release is 2012. Actually, that's not the original. The original game released in 1998, but Capcom did its re-release in 2012 for PlayStation 3, the digital version for PlayStation 3 and Xbox. It was already a great game, but CyberConnect, it was a little shaky. So Capcom picked it up, made it into a even greater game than what it already was. I strictly played as Jotaro or Dio only because they were the best characters in the game. I really love the fact that, or more so, I love that Capcom actually sauced that game up. They took elements from Marvel vs. Capcom, few from Street Fighter, but mainly Marvel vs. Capcom, and they mixed it into their own. Probably the reason of, you know what, maybe they even gave Persona 4 Arena, gave them their potential and their, whole sauce, I'll say, as far as like how they have personas behind them fighting and everything, because it's not really as smooth as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
The stands.
They took that same, not at all, but you can tell that they took that same element. The personas don't stay behind you, and as well for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Jesus Christ.
No, well, was Stardust Crusaders the last entry that game followed with Jotaro? Or were there any after him?
Were there any after, as far as on the game?
As far as like chapters, the seasons. Because they had Jonathan, and then it was I forget, Joseph, and then it's Jotaro.
And then his daughter.
Jolene?
Yeah.
Okay, so
but there was
Star Ocean? Marquita? Jolene, Cujo.
I just started watching the anime where we got up to Jolene. I'm sorry, I am
No,
a
it's all
day
good.
late and a dollar short
No, I'm
today.
just trying to figure out what the game what the game consisted of. Yeah, go ahead.
So my bad. I actually should point that out. Actually, it's gonna consist on. It's mainly on the Jotaro series, only because maybe that's the most popular. I would say I wouldn't say every other series isn't known of, but that's more of a hidden gem. The game and the anime, honestly. So every other series isn't necessarily involved within the game unless you progress into the story. You'll know your own clues as you play the game, but everything surrounds his series though. I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Would you say that the game storyline is on part like the same as the anime, or do they kind of branch off in their own?
It's the same as the anime, but since it's a fighting game, they give it to you short and sweet. Hey, I know you. Hey, I know you. Okay, we about to fight. I don't know you. I don't know you either. All right, fight.
Makes sense.
Like the only time you'll actually like, I mean, it is dialogue, but up until Jotaro and Dio fights, their interaction is everyone has their own interactions. Theirs is probably the most. Okay, I'm not trying to make this personal. They all have interactions and they all are pretty good. Dio's and Jotaro's is probably the most fire though. They stick with the anime though.
Definitely something for me to pick up.
Number two.
Not any. If any questions or anything, no comments, then we're going to 2.
2 is Dino Crisis 2.
Oh wow.
Dino Crisis.
Well, you brought it back.
Well, only the 2000. It came out in 2000. So basically, you follow the same operative, Regina, who's trying to rescue a team that travels through time to find survivors of the 3 time placement and recover data on the 3rd energy experiments. The rescue team leader is the 2nd playable character, so that's unique for the game. But I thought I put this in because I think it played better than the original one, of course, because they got it right. They usually get it right by the 2nd one, like I said. And this is the one I played more than the first one. And it's an interesting aspect as far as dinosaurs. So, I mean, personally, it was my favorite because I like this one compared to the first one.
So all the enemies were basically hunters.
Yeah, but some of them huger, more, massive.
T-Rex.
I kind of always took it as Resident Evil just with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, Resident Evil, remember Resident Evil had that one elephant outbreak too.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was kind of a big enemy that can trample you if you let them.
Or the crocodile.
Yeah. Crocodile, the lion, the zombie lion.
The zombie lion, yo.
So, Dino Crisis 2. Anybody experience Dino Crisis here? Did anybody play it?
Barely. A little bit.
I got into it because I know when you finish it, they gave you, you could replay it in a different outfit, which I know is silly, but I did it.
Well, that's what they do in Resident Evil 3, so,
Yep.
I think I got stuck in the beginning because I didn't know if I was supposed to pick up a file or open a door or something. I just couldn't. I kept going back and forth through the areas with no enemies alive, and I couldn't figure it out.
See, that's what used to happen to me in Outbreak.
Yeah.
But Dino Crisis was pretty cool. 1 and 2 was great. 2 was pretty great. I can't say that I remember I beat the game, but me and a cousin of mine, actually, I was young. I didn't go back and replay the game at all. That sucks that I'm young. Like, did I not experience things the same way as everyone else? Look, it's just that game was pretty much just as scary as Resident Evil to me. I was actually scared of that game, maybe more than the zombies. because it was dinosaurs. Like, can you imagine being trapped? I can't imagine being trapped with no dinosaurs before a zombie, but like was here before though, is what I'm saying. Like they
existed.
I don't know about a zombie. Like we talk about zombies, but real life though, like we did have dinosaurs. So I don't know that whole aspect. No, like so
it makes you look at the zoo differently.
It makes you look at a iguana differently. It goes that far. But that's a cool collection for Capcom for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, much like Resident Evil, when you do beat it and under certain conditions, it's certain like when you collect all the dino files, you get unlimited ammunition. And then I forgot there was an extra crisis mode after you beat the game. With Dino Coliseum and Dino Duel, and a Coliseum, you get like a preset weapons, and you got basically it's like kind of like Mercenaries-ish.
Play the out of Dino Crisis.
Yeah. But it was interesting. It was different. It was different. It was something different.
Yes.
That's a good cosplay idea.
Do it.
Take this to number one.
Number one. Okay. Let me see. When did this game come out? I'm gonna go off of memory actually. Shouldn't do that. So gonna just plan. So I'm gonna end it off with Power Stone. I actually played Power Stone 1. Just Power Stone. Plain and Jane. 2 was cool, you know. But Power Stone 1 is pretty much where it all started. 2 was a great game, but both of the games are so high, so I'm not saying anything is better than the other, but Power Stone 1 is the better game. But yeah, I am too. Like I'm just not 2 is because you can actually, so the reason that's I get it. I just always felt like people can run away from you too much. You can go and break a random box. On 2, after the gym disappears, you can run across the level that we're already like, you know, like this and shit, playing Jumanji on this shit. And then you want to run away from me while we scrapping and run to a gym. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the fact that I can whoop your ass more on 1. I don't know. Besides, I like the mix-ups. It has the same mix-ups, but it can happen a bit sooner on 1 than 2. 1 was also more of a challenge for me than 2. Not that 2 was, it wasn't easy, but you were more closed in on 1. So that last boss, or even a pirate, Kraken or the pirate, either one of them, nah, man, that shit is. But I'm naming this because Capcom pretty much gave the world a game that everyone copied off of. From they tried the 3D thing, they tried the arena thing. I would say the whole transformation thing as well. A lot of things picked up from that. Rival School is from Capcom, but Rival Schools, there are other games as well. I would even say Naruto even got a bit from Power Stone. That's pretty much the granddaddy of all of that. Who
would you say is the copycats, and who would you say are the ones being influenced by it? Because there's a difference between copying something and there's a difference between.
I wanted to add to that too. Bring something else up. Do you think they got that from Air Geese?
Do I think they got that from who?
Air Geese.
That Final Fantasy game where they battle each other?
Yeah, because that came out first.
Okay. Yeah, that did come out first.
Yeah, that was like PS1.
That did come out first.
Power Stone came out on what though?
1999.
On PS1 or
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. Yeah. Yeah, Air Geese is on PS1, I think so.
I'm not sure now. Yeah, because that's a forgotten gem. They ain't Capcom, so I don't know. You know, was it really that similar to Power Stone as far as the combos? I feel as if the power-ups are.
The setup was the arena was
more
or less a ring, yeah. But they, Capcom did way better on their version.
Yeah, you make me think about it now, honestly. They do have their own version. I can't really say because I wasn't necessarily my combos weren't the same, but that's Capcom's own twist. But as far as the area into the arena, I couldn't beat you up into the arena or the
it looks like Eargeese is not 4 people. There's only 2 people.
Oh, so okay, there's
Mm.
only 2 people, but there's a top down though, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Okay. Similar view.
So
Should still do it.
they didn't copy.
Okay.
Okay,
fair enough.
right. Okay. I have to make sure that I'm like, now you make me think about it. Like, man, hold up,
And
because I'm still on Power Stone side.
Yeah, it was a cool idea though. I like
Yeah.
to make it out something. But yeah, like I was saying, who do you think were the copycats for Power Stone, and who do you think were influenced by Power Stone? Who straight copied, and who was just like influences? Let me make something.
Dragon Ball Z.
Which one?
Which one?
So the one guy on there I remember, and I only remember because of his name, Wang Tang.
Oh, okay.
Because I keep thinking Wu Tang.
Right.
But he had like a kind of power up type of move where it was very similar to Dragon Ball Z, and that's like the first thing I thought of when you said that game.
Didn't his hair turn blonde or some shit too?
I didn't mean the I didn't mean the character design. I meant the gameplay style. I meant which games do you feel copied from Power Stone, and which games do you feel were influenced by Power Stone?
Smash definitely came out of that with power ups and things like that,
Yeah.
but that's also here nor there.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Threw me off.
I was thinking Smash was influenced, maybe not copied.
Yeah.
I think that what was that Onimusha that we talked about? That was a straight copy.
Yeah.
That was
even though it was more platform.
Yeah, but it's the I like. But
Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, the whole Tenkaichi series, they were an influence. Power Stone could have been an influence. I like them. I'm not throwing no shade. Tenkaichi, thank you, Kita. They wouldn't have even thought about it. Tenkaichi for sure was a influence, I'll say. The next I'm going to name as far as for influence again is Naruto, as far as for their arena fighter. They kind of mixed in Power Stone 1 and 2. You don't have objects or anything like that. You don't have anything to throw. Hand to hand, everything like that. Transformations as well. I'm gonna get back to the Wang Tang thing as well, but transformations as well.
I could see the Wang Tang, but I was thinking Rumbleverse.
Oh.
Rumbleverse?
Multiverse. Sorry,
Multiverse, yeah, Multiverse.
And Smash, and by that.
Multiverse is a copy from a copy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's basically Smash. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The character Wang Tang is or was to pay homage to Goku, to throw it out there. And that is the reason why he looks like that. Capcom likes to do that sometimes. It's not necessarily a copy from them, but that's them saying that we actually like you. They've done that actually a few times. I'm gonna give you somebody else.
SNK, they've done that with a lot.
Yeah.
Ryo Sakazaki is
the eagle face guy.
No, Ryo.
Geese?
Sakazaki.
Rio.
Oh.
Yeah, he's right off Ken, basically.
I thought the lady with the umbrella was Mary Poppins.
The Eagle from SNK was a Mexican wrestler. I can't remember his name.
Basically a bite off a T-Hawk or something like that.
No, well, a bite off from T-Hawk too, but actually no. His moves is a bite from T-Hawk. That character, his design is from wrestling, some Mexican wrestler. I just don't know his name.
Oh, like a luchador?
Like a luchador, yes.
Oh, I love that.
The Indian girl was basically pulling Perna.
They had a lot of side games too, like EX.
Why you laughing? You know,
Capcom All Stars and shit like that.
Does everybody remember pulling Perna?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Why are you laughing?" That's not.
She said, "Who?"
It was the EX Street Fighter, not the main
EX Street Fighter. Because EX is a
whole different cast.
Pulling Perna. That's why she about to get a little special mention in the video when I edit this. She can get a whole little picture. Pulling Perna. Here's to you.
The Cammy of Saudi Arabia.
The Cammy of Saudi Arabia. Cammy got enough copies of her anyway.
Yeah, too many dolls.
Oh, I think you froze.
Bro, oh, we at the end anyway.
You're gonna take us out with a frozen Wayne?
Because
At least it's a nice picture to be frozen on.
yeah, it looks like, hey, he's laughing at something. Tell a joke, somebody. It looks like he's laughing.
Look. Okay, bye.
Who's that?
Like,
Odin.
All right, Wayne is frozen, and we are out of time. All right, so join us next time for our next Capcom's Greatest based on CPC, which Tengu and Kita will be hosting. Oh, Wayne just left. Well, Egypt just left. So they'll give their Capcom's Greatest next time, and that's it, guys. Make sure you hit. I'm gonna say hit like or subscribe, whatever, but you know what I mean.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll stay on it.
Bye.
Later.